So you can play. I just love sitting around trying to figure out how to be a drummer on a keyboard. And what's cool about it is, you know, they always lay out the drum samples in a similar way, so you just scroll through different drum patches and you can kind of play it the same, like the kick drums right here. Snare drums right here. Hi-hats right here. And then you put them together. And then I got all the percussion too. I mean, it's like endless. So I would spit. Yeah, that's how I really did my first record. I played all those parts. So anyway, but now I like using real people too. All right, so what else you want to talk about, Brian?
Well, I'm a little bit older than you, so they didn't have all that when I was learning.
So sorry.
Piano.
Oh, I had that too.
The only way I could get drums out of it was by beating on it. And it wasn't my first choice. I don't know if you guys started on another instrument. You played trombone, obviously.
I started on piano.
I started on bass.
So
Yeah,
that's why you're so good at keyboard
like
bass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my forte. I kind of graduated to singing more than actually being a bass player now. So, but yeah, I played bass since I was 3 years old, all the way till now, basically. Three?
I didn't know they made basses that small.
They didn't. It was the thing, man. It was like my brother gave me his bass, right? And I used to lay down on the floor because I couldn't hold it up. So I would lay it down on the floor and then I'd crawl up under it and lay it on my chest. And I would just strum on it. My brother would lay with his head to me, so we were laying head to head, and he had his guitar and he would show me how to play songs. That was cool.
Where's the photo?
Right.
That was before Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Hey, Eric, how about you?
Actually, my first keyboard was an ARP Odyssey. I don't know if you guys remember an ARP Odyssey, but that sucker had 1,000,000 knobs. And trying to learn on that, it was just like, you know, oscillator, white noise, pink noise, and just, just to get one sound out of it, it took, you know, a week. You know, and I was 9 years old, you know, so thanks, Dad.
So you started on keyboards?
Yeah, I started on keys, but just real technical stuff like that, you know. I mean, back in the days, they didn't have the stuff like they do now. You had to figure out just one sound. So like Earth, Wind & Fire, you know, what's my man's
Larry
name?
Dunn.
Larry Dunn. He had a, you know, arsenal of, you know, he had this one just had one sound. This one had one sound. He had an organ. He got a Rhodes, you know. So to create all what he did, he had to have 6 keyboards up there. Now you have one. You know, you got a Rhodes here. You got a sample. You know, you can go to, you know. Yeah. What's really helpful too is samples. You know, DW3 was on tour with Stephanie Mills as her band all summer, and she has a song called Home. And so all I had to do was, she loved me for that. When I think of home, I think of a resting place. a place for peace and serenity. And she gives me the nod, and when I think of home, but stuff like that. It's easy. Technical stuff, but that's what drawed me to the keys. Was like Brian said.
That's why I love the keyboards. You can do anything.
Not that easy, but
yeah, if you play sax, that's all you got. It gets boring real quick, don't it? How about you, Arlington?
Well, yeah, I started on piano first, but then I got into keyboard playing. My first really keyboards were small, like the little Casio things with the little small keys and everything.
One little speaker up on the left.
Yeah. So when I finally got my got my first professional like synthesizer, it was a Chord M1. And but yeah, I just liked to I guess kind of mimic all the different kinds of instruments. Even though you play piano, if you pull up a different type of patch, you would play it differently.
Oh yeah.
I guess, I don't know, this keyboard like a string patch, it says slow, full strings, but if I try to play it fast, you can't hear, but if you want to play strings, they play slow. String players have the bow, and so it's more. So I used to like just orchestrating, what I call it, but whatever kind of sound that you try to mimic what it actually really sounds like, and that was really fun for me.
I love that. I love that.
And I know when I actually did start playing keyboards was when I got to high school. My father was an organist and a singer, so that's where I got my voice and my musical everything from, basically. But when I got to high school, I went to a creative and performing arts high school. In every room there was a piano, and I had never played piano. Everything I play by ear. I don't read any music unlike these guys. So it's like I can listen to something and figure it out. Give it to me about 2 or 3 times, and then I got it pretty much, except for rap stuff. But when I was there, I started doing that, and then I graduated to keyboards from my brother. My brother had a band, and he had a mini Moog, and they had no bass player, and he just had me come over one day just to come and check out the band, and I snuck over to the keyboard and just started just playing some stuff, and everybody got in, and he was like, "Man, you hired." And I was like, "I don't want to be in your band." He was like, "I don't care, you hired." And then I wound up actually taking over the band because, like Brian said, at that time in the 80s, there was drum machines, there was like samplers that just came out, and my band, we had somewhere in the neighborhood of about 11 keyboards on stage before I left. And I had access to all those keyboards. And then that's when I became a writer and a producer up in my bedroom. I was grooving. I had sequencers and the whole nine, and I was doing my thing. So, yeah, but that was
It's kind of a natural progression being a keyboard player, having all these sounds at your fingertips to go into producing.
Exactly.
Because you have an ear for all these different sounds,
I remember the very first, kind of the bridge between a real piano and the synthesizers. Before synthesizers were invented was the Fender Rhodes, which is a mechanical instrument, but it has an electronic sound, kind of like this is a... That's what it sounded like. And I remember the first song that made me want to have one was, try this.
Living a life. I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I keep holding on. I keep holding on.
Yeah. Nice, Brian.
Nice.
That was like the hardest intro to ever figure out.
I'm still learning.
What the hell time signature is that?
And that was Michael McDonald that played that. When I finally got to meet the guy and work with him, I realized he plays like that all the time. Any song he plays is... That's just what comes out of the guy, so okay, that makes sense now.
True story.